Hello friends, my name is Ramsu. Today we shall discuss about a topic that what is project selection. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam of PMP in near future. So let's just start friend. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. So what is project selection and planning actually? Project selection refers to the process of outlining and choosing the next venture for a team. Projects typically compete for resources, so you must consider the demands and goals of each potential project and prioritize them accordingly. Most organizations have several potential projects in the pipeline at any given time. Successful organizations create a standard process for comparing these projects against each other to determine the next best fit. Once an organization chooses a project, its next steps are outlining that project and creating a project plan. For more information about general project planning, you can see the other videos as well. So who does the project selection process? The leaders of a company will often ultimately rank project priority, but a project manager's expertise is also often welcome in the selection process. Role of project manager in project selection. An experienced project manager often possesses specific knowledge and skills that a higher level executive may not, such as more insight into the risk and resources requirements of proposal. A project manager should also have a solid understanding of the needs and talents of your team. Project managers can also act as sounding boards for executives and influence the choice of the project and how it is ultimately carried out. It is important to offer unbiased input during project selection so that the whole team has the best possible chance of success. One of the most crucial roles of project manager is acting as the liaison between the team and the executives. Identify the most influential decision makers and their priorities for the company. When offering input, highlight your team's strengths accordingly. At the same time, ensure that you are honest about any gaps in your team's abilities or resources. The role of project manager is to offer unique insight into the overall capabilities of an organization. If you believe that your company lacks the resources or time for one project, bring this up as early as possible in the planning and selection process. Once the organization selects a project, the project manager should begin the planning process. Assemble your project plan and create a communication plan to ensure that you and your team stay on track. What are the common management focus areas in project selection? Management will often focus on criteria such as total budget and payback period, availability of resources, and potentials for profit and growth. Conversely, a project manager may understand factors like timeline management, risk, and the success of past projects. It is important to understand your executives' concerns so that you can assuage them. At the same time, know the strengths and weaknesses of your team so that you can advocate for them appropriately. The project manager should acknowledge concerns from all sides and identify and facilitate methods to remove them and ensure a successful project. Project selection methods. You can use a variety of project selection methods, most of which fall into one of the two categories: constraint optimization methods prioritize numerical and mathematical advantages, while benefit measurement methods focus on more accessible concepts such as opportunity cost and payback periods. Constraint optimization methods for project selection. Constraint optimization methods sometimes use complex mathematical concepts to account for certain variables in the project selection process. They generally involve numbers and hard figures, and they turn real world problems into equations to help solve them. So, there are few examples. Integer programming. This method prioritizes whole numbers over partial results. For example, a company would not want to build a partial car, only a whole car. So, the determination is framed with whole cars in mind. Linear programming. This method focuses on maximizing a given variable by manipulating other linear variables. For example, you can reduce the total cost of a project by reducing the time you take to complete it. If you can sell cars as fast as you can make them, you can sell more cars by making them faster. Dynamic programming. This method breaks down a large problem into smaller, more manageable pieces. Instead of building a car, a company might focus on first building each individual piece of car and then putting it all together. Non-linear programming. More complex than linear programming, this method involves maximizing a given variable in a situation when other variables are not linearly tied to it. So, in the above example of a car, you may need to factor it in the increased cost of expedited bulk shipping and tariffs from multiple countries when increasing your output on the assembly line. Multiple objective programming. This method is in many ways a combination of all the methods as we already discussed. So, here you create a system of functions that can help mathematically optimize your decisions by creating equations that define the time and cost of each step of making a car. You can adjust variables as needed at any point and see a model of expected results. What is project selection criteria? Project selection criteria refers to the factors that a company weighs against each other to determine their next project. Considerations such as budget, timeline, and the availability of certain teams and people may contribute to this deliberation. So, how should project selection criteria be determined? Project selection criteria are unique to the business and the project generally. An organization will consider such aspects as the team's technical prowess, the time and budget available to complete the project, and the broader scope of the organization's goal. Your business evolves as your company becomes more successful. So, in the beginning you take any project because you want to build a large company, build relevance and gain exposure. Once you make a name, you can be a little more selective, says Jeremy Lyman, CEO and co-founder of Birch Coffee. So, what is the project selection process? The project selection process includes all activities an organization undergoes when weighing the cost and benefits of a potential venture to choose a new project. Generally, a new project is chosen and ultimately delegated to a team by high level management. So, what are the steps in project selection? While the specific steps in the project selection may vary by organization, the process generally consists of identifying potential projects, comparing them against each other, analyzing your findings and selecting a project. So, these are the steps are explained in more detail as follows. Identify potential project, meet with the decision makers in your organization and make a list of all the next potential projects. Compare the projects, compare your potential projects using your choice of project selection method. This example uses a cost benefit template to compare the cost and benefits of the list of projects from the first step. Assign values for each criteria to compare the total scores of each project. Analyze your findings. Compare the scores of each project to determine which is best for your team. This example uses negative numbers to display a more costly score and positive numbers to display one that is more beneficial. A score near 0 describes a cost benefit ratio that is closer to equal. Select a project. Choose the project that best fits your team. Often this will be the highest scoring project. Sometimes you will also need to consider things that your model may not consider, such as budget figures and total cost. So, friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video. Thank you, friends.